quickly, we're going to do this quickly, and then...
Thank
yes,
you, sir.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so very much for this, sir. We have many. We actually asked people to submit their questions online, so we have very many, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so I'd like to ask this one because it actually has to do with the whole talk. So that me just, yes. What do you do if all three factors of an effective marriage are no longer present? All three no longer present. Yes. Should I That's the person's question, but we have a lot more, sir.
No, this one is a very serious question. It's a
yes,
short
sir.
question, but it's very more. So if there is no more communication, there's no more sex, there's no more money relationship, there's no more love, there's nothing left. So please, I would say that a couple who is in this situation should know that their marriage is already at an ICU level. It's already it should be at an intensive. They are not supposed to be around town. When your blood pressure hits this kind of level, when you have dealing with this kind of situation, vital organs have heart is not working, kidneys fail, and you are still you want to go to Maitama. No, you are taken to an ICU. So I will encourage that such a couple should please immediately look for your pastor, a coach, a mentor, a therapist. Look for somebody immediately, because there's nothing left. That marriage just waiting for time for exit to happen. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Another question. What are effective strategies a wife can use to boost her husband's self-esteem and sexual confidence when he's hesitant to initiate intimacy? And I would like to link it up with another one that is very similar. The person said, is it a problem if it is me as a wife that always approaches sex first? My husband seldom does. I do it 60%, my husband 40%.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yes, sorry, just hold on with the flyers, ma'am. You can just be at the door there. Now, when it comes to initiation of sex, there's something I want to quickly say at this point in time. Based on the religious background, the upbringing, the exposure of certain individuals, it has a way of affecting how they express themselves. By no means does that mean that they don't have the desire. It's just that sometimes the way some people grew up, the kind of things they've heard, the teachings they've received. Don't forget that we are all a product of our beliefs. Is that okay? Beliefs undergirds values, values undergird actions, and actions undergird behaviors. So what normally happens is that, for instance, if a man has been told that, look, if you go often to your wife, she will take you for granted. Such kind of a belief. If a man has it, the man wants to stay as a king. Let your wife come and look for you. Are you getting that kind of a thing? So there are perceptions that governs certain actions. So the first thing we want to do is to be able to ascertain what exactly is the reason why this man is behaving the way he's behaving. So I would suggest first that the woman, if possible with your husband, need to sit down with someone who can properly counsel you people. It's in the process of counseling we'll be able to determine whether, first, it's a belief-induced behavior, meaning it is as a result of things that he has come to believe, tradition, culture, religion, things that he has accepted that guides him. So that man will have to unlearn, relearn. Is that okay? Otherwise, we may have a situation whereby for some reasons he may have dealt with some case of rejection. Maybe growing up, he had approached a lady at a very tender age in his life, at a very significant moment, and what the lady did to him traumatized him so much so that he's not been able to recover from that situation of rejection. So from that moment, anytime he wants to approach another woman, there's a conscious fear that there's going to be rejection again. So you have a situation where that could also predispose the man to wanting to be very careful. The other part of it is that it may have been a situation whereby early in the marriage, the man was bold enough to make a move and the woman rejected him. And so the man withdrew, and from that moment to come back again, it's a problem. There are some men like that. Coming back is not always easy for them. They always assume that it's going to happen again. There are other remote reasons. Personality-wise, it can be altered. If it is a personality issue, that can be altered. There are other wide array of issues that could make the man to be doing that. The most important thing is to have time to converse with the person. Don't judge him. And by the way, woman, let me say that keep on doing what you are doing. If you are the one in position to keep initiating until it catches up. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So I have these from one person. My love language is physical touch and quality time. My husband struggles in this area. For example, I love holding hands and kissing, but he doesn't. He emphatically told me he doesn't like this. I struggle to believe he loves me. This has been my struggle. I find it difficult to believe he loves me. She's emphasizing it. What better way can I handle this? 2, my husband makes the money. I have not really been financially okay since I left my last job. He does the spending and caters for the house. I don't really know how and what he makes. I feel left out even though he tries his best. And then the third question, I love to send messages to my husband whenever we have issues, because most times we talk, sometimes we end up not resolving. But he doesn't like me sending him messages. In fact, he told me he doesn't read them but deletes them. What should I do? There
is a communication problem in this marriage. There is a communication problem. And it is very obvious to me that the man is dealing with some kind of issues personally that is making him react to his wife in the way the man is reacting to his wife. If you're the one and you are here and you're a man and you just heard that, please, sir, it is not right. It is wrong for you to be in a marriage where there is no open communication. Like you can see from what I've shared with us here today, you can't have a healthy marriage where there is no open communication. You can't. It's not just going to be possible. So what I would suggest to the man is, please, take yourself and your wife, if need be, find a way. There are some people you can meet here who will be of help to you. And if you want to see me, find time to see me. But it is wrong for you, sir, to shut doors of communication. To have a wife in a house that can't express herself, can't talk with you, fears talking with you. Have a situation where every time you get to talk with one another, it ends up inconclusive. We can't reach a decision. Because somebody will always turn the conversation into a battle zone. It's just not healthy. You must, and part of the key to making sure that we don't continue like that is to practice what I just shared with you. What are the 3 things that I said you must practice? You do what? You listen. Shut your mouth up. Keep quiet. Take a note. Right. Listen to what she has to say to the end. All right. And number 2, then you can speak. And by the way, when you want to speak after she has finished talking, you don't just start by saying, I heard everything you said, but I just want to tell you my own. No, that's not how to talk. When you want to talk, the first thing you start with is, I heard you say. Repeat what she said that you wrote down. That's how I begin my conversation with my wife. I heard you said this, and I want to say, however, that there's a point that I differ with. When you said, I came with wings, they were not wings. They were actually clothes that were extended. I think in your mind, because you are used to birds, so you thought I came with wings. I actually came with clothes. That's the only thing I want to say. That was not real. Is that okay? All right. So, but it's important to listen. And if you listen and you take note, it will minimize some of the things we're talking about. And then when you speak, don't speak to attack the person. Address the issue. Separate between the person and the issue. Very critical. So I think for me, we need to sit down with him. It's unfair to be married to a woman and you can't let her express herself. The same thing goes to you as a woman. It is just unwise for you to talk and not let your partner talk. Absolutely unwise. Is that okay? And then in terms of touch, she likes to be touched, right? But the husband said outrightly he doesn't want to be touched. Again, sir, there are too many things around this man that I think we really need time with. Because no man forbids physical touch. It is one of the things that we need as men. We are visually stimulated and physically stimulated. So for a man who should be physically stimulated by touch, to be avoiding touch, somebody touched him wrongly when he was growing up. Something went wrong when he was growing up. So her touch it's not her touch that is offending him. It's the fact that it triggers memories. And if it is not that, then we need to attend to the reason why. There's a remote reason for that kind of behavior. So I will say to her, madam, if you are the one that wrote this thing, please don't transfer it to love. I know it naturally feels so. It's not that he doesn't love you. Is that okay? It might just be that we're dealing with a man who is dealing with trauma. And until we deal with the trauma surrounding his love expression, it's difficult for us to judge his love expression. So let's deal with the trauma. Once we're able to deal with trauma, then we can now say, okay, maybe he's truly not loving or loving. So there's some work to do with this man. And I hope that the man is listening and willing to give a chance without pride for help. We'll be more than willing if there's any help we can render. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Maybe I'll take, so that we take, anybody with a live question here? Any live question? Okay. No, right here.
Thank you so much, Dad.
Yes, you're welcome.
You just touched one of the points I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
When you were concluding, you spoke about mental health, healing and all.
Yes.
I think maybe there should be a session where you can talk more on sex and healing. I think for everyone, everybody wants a beautiful, healthy, happy sex life, but some people are dealing with a bagload of trauma. So it affects,
absolutely,
you know, how the delivery is. Now, so my question goes, you know, you've spoken about it anyways, but just to say, so when you have a reverse role for the oral sex, and you, in quotes, you've been the giver of the sex, the oral sex to your husband, and now you feel it should be reciprocated. But in as much as it can be given, but there's still this mental barrier where you feel like someone's going to hurt you, you'll be viewed as promiscuous, as, you know, so what do you do? How do you make yourself vulnerable and again be healed enough to let it seamless, not putting any rigidity on it?
Are you talking about the receiver or the giver?
The receiver now.
Okay. The receiver has been the giver.
The receiver has been the giver.
And now the receiver,
wants to be given.
Yeah.
But
there's
the person
fear.
is, yes, there's a fear. And it's already a barrier.
Thank you so much. Now, again, don't forget that the barrier is perceived. It's not actual because it's not been attempted. All right? It's only in a situation whereby I, who have been the one given, and I approach you and I say, sweetheart, can you give also to me? All right? If at that moment you say, oh, sorry, God forbid, I can't try that kind of rubbish, you know, then at that moment it sends a bad message to me. Okay? I won't try to ask you for that again because I already see the way you react towards that issue. But when we're dealing with a situation whereby you've not even asked me whether I can give it to you back, all right? You've not asked. But because of your own past experience, okay, you are afraid to ask because you are assuming I may be viewed as promiscuous. Now, don't forget that the person who received it comfortably. Now, how is the person going to view me as promiscuous when I say, okay, do it for me too? All right? And sometimes the wisest thing to do, ma'am, is when you are in the act, when the man is finding pleasure or the woman is finding pleasure, sometimes that's the best time in the midst of pleasure. That's a time to quickly, rather than have an organized approach where I say, sweetheart, tonight, can you give me? So sometimes the best thing, particularly when you're doing it for the man, is finding pleasure in what you are doing. At that moment, you want to say, okay, so can you try that with me too? Me too, I want to feel it. I want to feel what you're feeling. You see, at that moment, it's almost like when I'm giving you, I also want to experience myself. So it's not going to create room for that kind of feeling. Again, I think it's about how we present some of the things that we present. So I would say, avoid dealing with all the assumptions of what the person will think or say. Why don't you give a try? And be creative in giving the try. Does that make sense now? The timing, again, don't forget we talked about Tamar, yeah? We said the way she was able to get Jacob was she observed the principle of what? Timing. So timing is very critical. Particularly those of us, when you're having intercourse with a man, I'm sure you know that it's normally during intercourse with men that women who are prostitutes gets men to sign lands, to sign checks. How do they get them to sign check? When the man is already like, women know when women, you know that when a man is almost like hitting ejaculation. Am I correct? At that moment, that's when the woman say, hold on. And you know, if there's anything a man does not want to hear in this world, is hold on when he's already about to hold out. And so at that moment, wise women know what to do. Sorry, hold on. Well, can you do me this? Can you do me that? At that moment, he's ready to do anything because he wants to go back to what. There's something in the way the man's brain works. Whatever I started, I must. So you can break the flow and get him to do for you whatever you want him to do. You want him to lie down, tell him, oh yeah, God. That's when you see women are making match. Man, oh yeah, God, run. Oh yeah, jump. Yeah. Where's the woman? Okay, get ready, man. You want to sit down? Yeah. Okay. Give to him, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, church.
You're welcome, sir.
I really appreciate you, Daddy, for this insight. I feel what I want to say is that the world has changed so fast, and the three dimension you give about marriage, communication, love, and sex. And for men, because I could have other friends which we talked about and so on, I think most men love language now is to provide. We don't pay more attention to how to communicate with our wife. We just feel that, okay, once we drop the money, once we drop the cars, once we drop the house, once we give them the allowance, they don't have any right to disturb us or something. So I come to understand, because I came from a military background, a barrack boy too. So I saw my dad did that. Despite he has a lot of children, but I saw my dad work so hard, and I could also witness trauma in the marriage with my mom, because he might be in another state and my mom would be in another state, and we don't lack anything. We are barrack children, but it was so much provision. So I also carry that mindset that, man, I don't so much believe in romance. Why just give you stuff and get out of the house and everything. So, but I found out my wife, my beautiful wife, yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
I noticed my wife, we were having issues about that before. So one day I asked her, what do you want, madam?
Fantastic.
I killed myself for you. I go to work times. And so what do you want? That's what most people want this time. So it's beyond, I've come to understand lately that is beyond all that. The communication aspect, I've learned that, because I'm not a talker, I'm an action. I just do the thing like this, I'm gone.
My God.
For the other aspect, I'll say we'll try our best. God is helping us. Because I like, I'm always this kind of person that I have to survive, this surviving mindset.
Yeah.
So I've really gotten a lot, but I just wanted to put more about money. Why do men pay more attention than money, and they feel that they solve all those three dimensions all those two dimensions does not matter? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is that something we want to appreciate him for? Sir, traditionally, our problem is that, particularly, sir, your generation, my generation, your generation, we are children of traditionalists. So we are conformists. We are conformists. We come from traditionalists, okay? So those who were born in the 40s, 50s, 30s, my father was born 1936, April 18th. So my father was born. So my father is a thoroughbred from the traditionalist perspective. If our builders, and so we have from traditionalists, we have the builders, and then the builders we came into Generation X. Most of those who are born late 60s and into the 70s, and then you have the millennials come and all of that. So here's where the problem lies. We were trained. And look, the job of a man, as a man, you should be able to provide for your family. My father never called me one day and said, sorry, there's a way, my son, come close. How many men here would tell you, let me ask that question. I do it everywhere I go to, sir. And you'll be shocked the number. How many men here, your father sat you down and your father taught you how to relate with a woman? Your father coached you, told you how to love a woman, how to provide for a woman, how to have sex with a woman. Your father trained you how to communicate. Your father told you how women behave, how to manage them, their attitude, their behavior. Your father sat you there. You would teach us what he taught you. Raise your hand. Your father taught you. Women, can you see what we're talking about? This is what I get everywhere. I've never been in any meeting, sir. We have seen 10% of men. This is the disaster we're talking about. So all of us came into marriage with what template? And these women followed us thinking we know. Not knowing you are following the nothing. It's a problem. So where do we get information from? Bush bar with our friends. Oh boy, what do we do with these women? And the guy will tell you based on whatever he knows. Dysfunctionality keep breeding dysfunctionality. It's a problem we have. And the reason I do this is so that the women here will get to understand that, look, my husband is not exceptional. We all grew up not being taught. We were sent to school to spend 4 years to become graduates from the university so that we can pursue lifetime career. But we were not sent anywhere. We've not sat with anyone to prepare us for our lifetime institution called marriage. Nothing. We don't know what to do. We just do what we think is right. So when the man is under pressure, he has tried all he can do to handle the woman, he doesn't know what else to do. The man is frustrated, he's stuck. So when you see a man beating, he doesn't know what else to do. He doesn't know what else to do. So, sir, it's the traditional background we have. We're told that our job is to provide for women. Is that okay, sir? So we all hit the street and we go provide, and then we bring home, like Pastor Mary here. I want to buy her shoe. Snake skin. Ash color with black. Powerful snake skin. Real leather stuff, real skin. Bought it for her. And I drop it inside the house on top of the table. She was cooking in the kitchen. And me, with all the movies I've watched, I watch Indian film a lot. Shani man. Shani kaman. Shani man. And you know those Indian women that we see in movie? We didn't know it was film. When the man give them shoe like that. So I was expecting, my mind. I was like, if she's, so I kept it. So I was expecting, in my mind, I've already calculated. When she was like, oh my God. I didn't know I was dealing with a worry woman. Barakuma to the core. Just can't you know they moved them. I thought I was dealing with maybe Ikoyi, all these New York girls, all those London girls. Even London said, be careful, no, don't go to Peckham area. Just, so I was expecting my wife was just going to come and see the shoe. And she would like, oh my God, wonderful. And she would just go on her knees. So I was imagining her from she would start kissing me from my leg up. Sir, my wife just came. I said, baby, come. She now came and she saw the shoe. She said, thank you. I'm telling you this before God. She just looked at it. She said, thank you. And she went back to the kitchen. Should I hit my head on the wall? I said, God, this is how my dream is over. My expectation had just been cut short too. And she went like that. Nothing. So that led me into research. It was that research that led me into gender dialect. It was in the course of, because in the early days I made a decision, rather than react to my wife, I will research. So every case was a case for research. So I began to research, why do women behave like this? Then I stumbled on that teaching on gender dialect. Every gender has a dialect they speak. In order to connect with that gender, learn to speak in the dialect of that gender. And I said, so what could be my wife's dialect? Then love language had not come out. And then I got to realize that I should have entered the kitchen when she was cooking and say, oh, how are you, sweetheart? How's everything going on? Is there anything I can help you to do in the kitchen? Maybe even pick an okra, cut something small. She doesn't need me to take over. She needs me to identify. No, but my father, nobody told me